Whether you're just coming back or you've been playing for a long time, a lot has changed in Pokemon Unite, and I'm going to try to give you some information here really quick in this video. Whether you're a new player, you've been playing a long time, or you're just returning to Pokemon Unite, so many things have changed, especially with the new map. So in this video, I'm going to try to give you a lot of little tips and tricks that I know about the game that maybe you didn't know. Jake, your resident content cowboy here, yeehaw, and I recognized the other day that there are little things about the game that maybe aren't common knowledge. You know, for a long time, if you KO'd Dreadnought before Zapdos, you actually got a damage reduction on Zap. Ah, the good old days. So, here are some things about the state of the game and about what's going on in the new map. Let's talk about the Regis. Regieleki, Regi-Ice, Rock, and Steel. Regi-Ice, Rock, and Steel spawn in the bottom path and have replaced Dreadnought. They give about 50% of the experience that Dreadnought used to give, so that objective isn't as valuable as it used to be. They also each give a different bonus. Regi-Ice will heal your team's max HP by 5%, and then it gives you a 10% addition to health regeneration. It appears that this is bugged. It's actually probably the worst objective in the game right now. Regi-Ice appears to give your team a big burst of healing, 30% of max HP. It's supposed to do some sort of HP regeneration, but it seems to be either extremely low or bugged, but without question, this appears to be one of the worst objectives in the map right now. The HP regeneration from Regi-Ice comes in the form of an aura that your allies get once you KO it. If you KO Regi-Ice, Regi-Steel, or Regi-Rock, you get an aura for 1 minute and 10 seconds inside the match. Regi-Steel and Regi-Rock are a lot better than Regi-Ice currently. Regi-Steel will give your team a 15% attack and special attack bonus. Whereas Regi-Rock is a little confusing. It looks like it's 30% defense and 25% special defense. Look, these numbers might not be exact because they're not explained in the game, but just know that Regi-Steel and Rock, pretty good. They give your team a decent bonus. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room. Donphan. Just kidding, Regieleki. So Regieleki is probably the most sought after objective in the map right now, sometimes even more than Rayquaza at the end of the match. This is Rotom on steroids. It pushes towards goals. It does tons of damage. And unlike in the previous map, with Zapdos not being a factor, you now have scoring early start to become much more important. Not only that, breaking goals early doesn't seem to be as big of a disadvantage as it was before because there is tons of experience on the map, and if you're able to push your enemies back, take away their vision and their speed zones, you're also able to take a lot of experience from them in their central area. Let's talk about Rayquaza. Replacing Zapdos, Rayquaza now gives your allies a shield that will help them score faster and stop them from taking damage when they are scoring until that shield is broken. The Rayquaza shield appears to be 30% of your Pokemon's max HP plus 3000 HP as a shield. This is mostly worse than Zapdos in a lot of ways, but it does have some pretty cool advantages. First off, you only get the shield if your ally is around. So if I KO Rayquaza and my entire team is KO'd, then I am the only one who gets a shield. So that Cinderace hiding in the bush, you are even less useful than you were before. Rayquaza does do something that is very cool though, and it gives you this big chunky score shield essentially, equal to about 30% of your Pokemon's max HP. So tanky Pokemon like Blissey, Mr. Mime, Snorlax, they get massive shields. They are scoring faster while they have this on, and they can't be interrupted while scoring until someone breaks their shield. This means, interestingly enough, that unlike Zapdos where it leaves the goals defenseless for a while, you're actually able to go around, pick up more Eos energy, and if you still have that shield, run back and score again. So when you're defending an enemy team that got Rayquaza, look for these squishier characters. They're Greninjas, Glaceon, Cinderaces. Those characters' shields are not as chunky and you'll be able to delete them very fast. Slowbro, on the other hand, it's going to be really tough to break that shield before it gets to one of your goals. Let's talk about the new blue and red buff, or purple and orange buff as the game calls them. The new blue buff gives you a 10% cooldown reduction. It used to be 20%, but it was recently nerfed by the developers. Even still, it's a very good buff. The red buff is very similar to how it was before. When you hit an enemy with it, it applies a slow to them, and every time you hit them, it reapplies that slow. So Pokemon like Cinderace that are attacking at range continue to hit enemies, and it continues to slow them. It's how they're able to chase you down so well when they come out of that jungle, or central area as the game calls it. Let's talk about a few Pokemon in the game right now. Mew, Mr. Mime, and Glaceon are all terrible in that they are broken and so freaking good. Another Pokemon I would throw on that list is Gengar if you're playing anything other than coordinated 5-person play. Gengar in solo queue is unbelievable right now. The reason you're seeing so much of these Pokemon is because each one of them is just doing something crazy inside the game. I have videos about them on my channel. Let's talk about a couple interesting things you may not know. I didn't even know about some of these till the other day. Did you know that you can't recall to base if you haven't selected a move or an upgrade move? It's interesting, it's weird, it feels like a little bug, but if you are waiting to select a move or an upgrade once you get to a level that gives you a move plus, and you try to recall and go to base, it will not work. Does it work on mobile? Don't know, but it doesn't on Switch. A Pokemon that appears to be bugged right now is Greedent. Something is going on weird with Greedent's Bullet Seed. I don't know if this was an intentional nerf, but it doesn't feel like it. Sometimes when you're firing, it seems to stutter, or when enemies are attacking you, it stops. I'm not sure if it's intentional or not, but if it is intentional, Bullet Seed is really, really tough on Greedent right now. If it's not intentional, which I don't think it is a bug in the game, and hopefully Greedent will be back to its crazy, crazy self very soon. You may have noticed this, but when you go back to base or you take a hyperspace hole from Hoopa back to base, healing is reduced. I'm not sure the exact numbers, but it looks like it went from somewhere like 35% a tick to 15% of your max HP a tick. So that's why it's taking longer to heal inside base. Kind of an indirect nerf to Hoopa. The most recent release in Pokemon Unite, Dodrio, actually did something very interesting in the test server that they took out of the game. So in the test server, every time one of Dodrio's heads scored, you were able to get a stack of your attack weight. Now, in the current game, that is not the case. You have to go through a full scoring animation of Dodrio, just like any other Pokemon, to get a single stack. It looks like something that they removed because they thought it was too powerful. Then again, they really haven't nerfed Mime. So, you know, what are you gonna do? A few held items got a nice buff recently. All of your out of combat items that take a little while to activate, leftovers, floatstone, assault vest, things like that, got a nice buff. It actually takes less time for them to turn on now. So floatstone gets you moving a lot faster, a lot sooner, assault vest comes up quicker, and leftovers is still very, very bad. Interestingly enough, with Mew, Mime, Glaceon, Gengar being very popular in the meta, all of them special attackers, I think on your tankier Pokemon, a lot of your defenders and supporters, you could run an assault vest and get a lot of value out of it right now. I hope this video helped. I recognize that there are things rattling around in my head that I wanted to get into your head because maybe they weren't common knowledge. Hopefully something in here was new information to you. If it was, I would love to know in the comments what that was. And if there's something that's huge that you think I missed, please leave it in the comments. If you like videos like this, I'd like to make more of them very soon. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Yeehaw to you and yours. Goodbye.